What this? What a good question, Hunter. Thanks for asking. If you guys are gonna be just a moment. Hunter, aren't you streaming? Okay, there we go. Yeah, hold on. Aren't you supposed to be streaming right now, mister? Okay, now looks like you ended your stream. Okay, you're a lucky fella. You're a lucky one. Oh, oopsie. Oh, oh no. Oh God, where am I? There we go. Hey, okay, there's the game. All right, cool. So unfortunately, excuse me. Unfortunately, the collab was canceled today, so we're gonna be playing an indie game, one that I've seen a little bit of gameplay of before, and I'm very interested to actually get into it myself. Come one, come all to the Titanium Court. Today we're going to be playing a bit of a indie game demo. Might have to turn up a little bit for you guys. A man steps onto stage and taps a microphone. Good evening! Before we begin, there are a few announcements. First, due to the unexpected circumstances, the part of the player will be performed by an understudy. A couple of audible groans and one muffled boo erupts from the audience. Now, there's no need for that. This kid may not be a star yet, but I've seen her rehearse, and I can guarantee that she'll impress you. She may not have had the time to memorize any of her lines, but, well, neither have any of you. The audience laughs. Second, we'd like to warn you that this production features a significant amount of obscenity. But before all the parents in the audience begin covering their children's ears, know this. This stage is enchanted such that the... Hi, Cowrie. Such that the obscenities can only be heard by those of sufficient emotional maturity to handle hearing them. And finally, the writer's room would like to issue an apology for failing to complete the script before this performance. They are working on it as we speak, so it is my pleasure to announce that tonight's performance is also a race. Hi, hon. Hope you're doing well. Who will win? The writers furiously working to finish the script, or the performers attempting to perform it? I can't answer that question, but I can announce that the race begins now. Oh, we hope you enjoy the game. Where should you start? You were walking through the woods when the world around you shattered. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear, Carrie. This was both alarming and inconvenient. Isolated on a lone stretch of ground, you were transfixed as the broken landscape began to rearrange itself. Your eyes followed trees and hills collapsing in lines of 3, as if the forest you knew were a knot becoming carefully untangled. You dared not move from your position, as the ground beneath your feet quivered in anticipation of shattering further. Oh, can I do one at a time? Sure. You passed the time this way for who knows how long. Until the court slid into view. At first, you weren't sure you could trust your eyes. But there it was, a great shining structure among the rolling landscape, something stable and enclosed, a shelter. You kept your eyes on it, hoping it would draw close enough that you might peer inside its windows. Alright, so we gotta get this a bit closer. Surprisingly, the court appeared able to move freely through the broken landscape, disregarding lines of 3 as it approached your position. again, but I mean, I'd also like to get a line of 3. And just as it came near, the shattered landscape lurched. With little warning, the forest snapped back together as if someone had pulled the knot of reality tight once again. Except, by now it wasn't the forest you knew. It was hardly even a forest. You stood, stretched, and began the hike towards the court. This game's a bit interesting. There's a little simulacrum of music going on. Later, while the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. Hoping to avoid any attention, you sought out a more isolated part of the hall. An empty table near an exit where no one would pay you much mind. A sound plan. Except... oh no! Let me see. I want to see if I can turn off a bit. There we go. It's still very quiet. Like, Reg is just very background noisy, but, you know. I like to make sure you guys can hear a little something. The hall was soon overflowing with people, and your table was no exception. The young man seated to your right began engaging you in idle conversation. The weather, how you found the... oh, sorry, I'm not doing his voice yet, sorry. The weather, how you found the meal, the role of the individual in a society, how you preferred to make your bed, those sort of subjects. Eventually, he inquired about how you came to arrive at the court. Which answers my question quite thoroughly, while raising many more, he says as you conclude your tale. But forgive me, you haven't actually finished your story, have you? You admit there is a bit more, though you have yet to make sense of it. People within the court were earnest but odd. After your arrival, you attempted to get some answers about your whereabouts and the strange circumstances outside it, except... they spoke mostly in riddles and nonsense, didn't they? They did. Find out where you are. A man resting at the shade of the wall. Said the man, whoa, pal, whoa. Before you ask me any more questions, you gotta know my deal. My deal is that I can only answer questions you haven't asked. So, as to where we are, no can do. Sorry, can't tell you. What are we doing? Oh man, we're a court of fairies on a quest to find our missing queen. He looked to both sides, then said, so let me know if you see her. Just don't ask me where she is. Next, you... now hold on, are you seriously telling me about every individual conversation you had in excruciating detail? Yeah, let's go through. Yes, you are, because if he lets you proceed uninterrupted, you'll learn that many of these people played a part in what happened next. Fine, fine. A woman in a helmet doing her taxes at a picnic table. Said the woman, I would love to tell you where we are, friend, but I haven't even figured out where we aren't. She gestured at a stack of maps on the table behind her. We're not any of those places. Or at least we weren't. Who knows if that's true now that the tide has come in. You attempted another tactic, hoping to glean some information. Perhaps she could at least tell you the name of this place? Oh, we just call it the court. Its full name is the court of... I forgot. Something like a court of aluminium, but it starts with a T. The court of tungsten? I don't know. Maybe. I'm new here, and I'm bad with names. But at least I can give you mine. I'm Robin. She held out her hand, which you shook as you introduced yourself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should get to sort this out before the tide settles again. A pair in front of a blackboard discussing magic. There appeared to be a seminar of some sort taking place in the courtyard. Seminar of magic, if you understood the text on the blackboard correctly. Okay, so you take a metaphor and then you stretch it really thin, right? Right? Like really thin. So thin you forgot its original purpose. Then you inflate it. Right, just inflate the metaphor. I prefer to use my lungs for that. Then as it's inflating, you twist it like, hang on, like so. You still following? I think so. And hold on. Ta-da! There! It now resembles a dog. A delight for children and such. Ah, okay. So what happened to the metaphor? It's a lovely little balloon dog now. I see. They seemed a bit busy, so you left them to it. A small cat! Bathing in the sun atop the walls. Yes, cat. Said the small cat. Ah, your questions are numerous, but inconsequential, for they miss the current crisis. What crisis? Why, the crisis we're in, my dinner is late! It is so late, in fact, that I'm not certain the concept of dinner isn't something I invented in a fugue of hunger. All the societal issues are mere trivialities in comparison to my plight. Please, stranger, why don't you fill my bowl, thus ending this ravenous standoff? Woman behind you laughed. I've never listened to him. He's been fed twice today already. All right. What did the outside of the court look like from atop the walls? Finding no immediate answers inside the court, you moved to the top of the walls and looked outward. Perhaps there were something that you could see from this vantage that would shed more light on your situation. To the contrary, conditions outside the walls were even stranger than they were at the time of your arrival. The rest of the shattered landscape had now melted away. The court stood alone amid a void. But not for long. Like a rush of water, new surroundings began to surround. Much of the new topography was familiar to you. You could identify fields, water, woods, and hills. But there was something else to see. A menacing group of other courts were also part of the landscape. You were not alone noticing these towers. Someone shouted, "The war! The war! The war is here!" Someone else, "That can't be! Puck said no wars until we find the queen!" Then perhaps he should explain that to them! Surrounded by the enemy, on all sides and bereft of an obvious course to action, the people of the court began to pray. A man stepped forward and offered the first prayer. I genuinely wish no harm upon our enemy. I merely pray that they would fade into obscurity. Aha. Wow, thanks. I didn't expect that to work, but thanks. The woman named Robin offered the next prayer. My notes are quite clear on this. Prayer does not work. Our time is much better spent steering the court. Remember, the soldiers cannot cross water. We should try to take shelter behind a moat until the tide comes in. There, now the river protects us from nearly half the field. Hills should also slowly advance, so for my next prayer... But the next prayer did not belong to Robin. The next prayer belonged to the cat. So long as we are making demands of make the wish, my wish is ever to be fed. Psst, hey. You probably didn't notice, but something just happened over here. What happened is by matching fields, the core has acquired some food. Similarly, other parts of the battlefield can be matched to earn water, trees, or gold. None of those fairies in the core will tell you this. Their religion forbids them from acknowledging the existence of the user interface. But I am a secular tooltip. I fear no god. I will do my best to provide you with this vital information. You're welcome. Yes, more of that, please. Robin then bemoaned the loss of the moat. We face even more of the enemy than before. Why must I bother? The scholars in the background now chimed in. We've identified the most strategically sound location. This spot right here. If we should steer over there carefully, we should be fine. Sitting pretty. But Robin interjected, Stop! Look at the clock, it's almost low tide. We have time left for only one more move. Again. So the clock and the time left Robin alludes to is in fact this unassuming progress bar at the edge of your vision. Much like life, every move you make will deplete some of your remaining time. The one pair left, what do you suggest we ask for? We might as well pray for a miracle. Well, that's a start. Apologies, but another explanation from me. Your humble tooltip is in order. The previous move chained multiple matches together. Because of this, you have earned some bonus time. So the fairies of the court, this might as well be a miracle. Is there anywhere else we could do that again, whatever it was? There were no such chance. The next pair would be the last. Incidentally, the next pair also belonged to you. Unsure of what any of this really meant, you imitated the people around you and made a pointless decision. What would I like to do? The battlefield snapped together as the court snapped to attention. Places, everyone! Windows were shuttered. Doors were slammed. Large swaths of people emerged from further inside and formed a line near the gates. A tap on your shoulder. One of the scholars. We could use some help in the dressing room if you have a free hand. Along with the scholars, introduced to you as Hop and Skip, you sorted through a large pile of costumes, props, and weapons. Check the tag on that, would you? Make sure I put it together properly. Old. Farmer. Working fairy. Gathers food from fields. If it looks correct, feel free to hand it out. You handed the bundle of farmer's apparel to the first person in line. Unperturbed by the idea of harvesting wheat in the middle of a battle, they whistled as they marched out the front gate. Now do it to play another farmer. Ugh. Now let's see if this one fits anybody. Soldier offensive attacks the enemy. You handed a bunch of armor and weapons to the next person in line. She tests the weight of the weapon in her hand. I haven't received any training, so I'm just planning to hit anything that doesn't belong to us. After this minimal preparation, the scholars considered their work finished. I'd place our chances of survival somewhere near abysmal, but I'm afraid this is the best we can do. A small mercy, at least, that the queen isn't here to witness this. And so you waited with all of the others for the battle to commence. Hello, I must pass you one more time before I take my leave. Observe! This is the undo button. Use it to change your mind as many times as you wish before starting the battle. However, the official editorial position of this tooltip is that you are liable to lose no matter how many times you change your mind presently. When you're ready to lose, use the play button to proceed to the next battle. Now, I will leave you in peace. But, should you ever desire the company of your loyal tooltip, all you need to do is click and hold over any button or tile, and I will do my best to explain it to you. Press this button when you're prepared to die, of course. Undo button. Voted most valuable button 22 years running. Oh, very nice. Monarch. Offensive job. Turn property damage into profit. Okay. Commence battle? Sure. So I have played a bit of this before. Or no, I haven't played, I should say. I've watched someone play it. And quite frankly, it does look really fun. Ooh, we knocked that sucker out of the park. But in the end, we died. Okay. And then, sometime later, as the sun hovered low over the horizon, there was a feast within the walls of the court. The man to your right is beside himself with laughter. Okay, so our court, caught off guard by a sudden war, stumbled behind enemy lines, made a token attempt at resistance, and then was summarily toppled. Do I have that right? Yes, that does appear to be an accurate summary. Well then, I'm certainly glad I slept through that. As you look at your surroundings, a switch flips in your mind. Your own story makes a little sense now that you think of it. How did you... Your companion pats your arm. Don't worry about it. If our court couldn't withstand physical destruction, we wouldn't last 5 minutes within the pull of the tide. But enough of that. It's about time I made some introductions. As you've narrowly avoided learning, this place is called the Titanium Court. Meanwhile, I have the honor of being a steward of the court. My name is Puck, although my lovers and enemies called me Goodfellow. I am chief advisor and friend eternal to our fair queen. As fancy as that sounds, in practice it means he's unemployed. One of the scholars, a man named Hop, has approached your table. He appears to have had a drink or two, or 4. He pulls up a seat between the two of you and assumes a jovial position. Guess the queen stood us up, eh? Good fellow, lucky for her, I'd say. I'd skip town too if I knew what a sorry showing the court would make. But on the plus side, we can continue draining her wine cellar. Now, are you going to help me with that, good fellow, or are you just going to stare at me? I don't mind either way. Puck, staring at the scholar, mouth agape, slowly inhales and pinches his nose. What fools these! How drunk are you, Hop? The queen is right here! I've been speaking to her for the entire feast! An excited hush falls over the entire hall. Hop blinks, looks at you, looks at Puck, turns bright red. Oh, I see it now. That calls for Her Majesty's finage vintage. I'll be right back. As Hop makes a quick exit, you look steadily at Puck and shake your head. There's no use denying it now, not after the tale you just told me. If you'd like more proof, just take a look at where you're seated. You slowly take in your surroundings. At the head of the table. Puck smiles. Now, if I may conclude my introductions, let me introduce the court to your majesty and likewise. He stands up and addresses the entire hall as he says, Long absent, the Queen of Titanium Court, always a stranger, has arrived. Cheers erupt, and dessert is served. Oh! To your left, Hop returned with an armful of glasses and bottles, and about time, too. Good fellow, did you tell her about the war yet? Titanium Court! Chapter 1, place beloved only of clowns and criminals. And then, just a short while after the feast, the court returns to war. Here we are. You're in charge, you're in charge of the war now, your majesty. You should be just fine. Just remember everything we've taught you about magical warfare. Blinking slowly, you remind them that, at this exact moment, that they have taught you roughly nothing about magical warfare. Ah, good. She remembers quite clearly. Alright. High tide, while the field is broken, use it to your advantage. Consult the ever-changing map. You don't know what any of this means. Good to know. Inspect your available units. We have farmers, and we have soldiers. Alright, good to know. Glad that we're on a good foot here. A stump. Aha! I'd like to get by this stump, please. Ooh, I'm kind of sick with it. Dude, I mean, I'm going infinite on this one. Kind of going sicko mode, to be honest. All right. All right, well, I guess we'll, here we go. Commence battle? Sure. We have no enemies, so that's a plus. This sounds very jammin', I like it. Seems very weird. I love it. Well, Having now achieved some kind of victory in the war, you wonder if someone in the court might help you return home. It would be our pleasure if you could show us the way. Also, that was only one battle. There are many more to come if my notes are to be trusted. Okay, well, if you understand this map correctly, even if it is a map, there appears to be some sort of signage just ahead. Perhaps if you can reach those signs, you'll learn more about where you actually are, along with how to get home. And to reach them, we need merely to be swept forward by the tide as we have all been all along. Convenient. It's nice, I guess. All right, here we go. Safe. A storage unit looks like one you've rented in the past. Well, I would like to see that storage unit. Very nice. Could do this. This probably wouldn't give me anything. This might be my best bet. Take a look inside the storage unit. We were quite curious about what you might find inside the storage unit, but it's locked. All right, very nice. It doesn't look like anyone can really reach me for a while. Very slow to travel on foot, yeah. Sure. We'll just send some dudes to farm, mostly. Oh, slam dunk. Yeah, I'm not worried about that guy coming over. But look at our food over here. We've got 40 food. Time. All right. Let's see. A plant possessing a friendly false face. Okay, very nice. All right, what we got there? We're pretty much safe from these guys. Pretty much, because not quite, but... Oh, okay, looks like we can't interact with that. So we're gonna actually want a good few soldiers here. Fuck, give me a fourth one. We got plenty of food. I'm not worried. very goofy game. Look at that. Time. A menacing bird cage suddenly appears in front of the court. Your Majesty, I have notes on this foe. Let me know if you'd like to see them. Yeah, tell me about the bird cage. Right, here's what my notes say. First, at the start of low tide, the bird cage will flood its surrounding with water. Following that, the bird cage will attack the court with birds. Fine, it may prove tricky. It is always surrounded by water. The court soldiers will be unable to reach it. You agree? Wonder if there's another approach the court could take. Either way, you thank Robin for the information. Wait, aren't some of those enemy courts empty? Notice a subtle difference between some of the enemy courts on the battlefield. While the enemy courts have soldiers, primarily outside the gates, there's also plenty of them that appear to be completely empty. You think that you can maybe assume that these empty courts will not attack the court during the coming battle. Yes, you can assume that. Additionally, you can see when enemy soldiers will attack the court over here on the timeline. Even soldiers might be no threat to you if you can deal with their courts before they attack. Indeed. So, I mean, I guess we could try getting to the bird cage. That seems a bit tough, though. Ooh! That felt good. I can't do that. Your Majesty, look! There is a chest resting on that patch of land. We should be able to recover its contents as long as it remains in sight for low tide. Alright, so we want to keep that, and we don't want to break it. I can attempt that. Okay, well, one has replaced it. That's good. Ooh. As low tide begins, the birdcage surrounds itself with a moat. Alright, we have actually killed a good few enemy units. Gather all manner of trinkets, treasures, trifles, and toys. Ah, a gunboat and a bird. I'll get it, and I will get it. Excellent. I'm not really worried about a gunboat. Let's get a third bird. Wait, let's look at this. Offensive winged ferry, unhindered by terrain. I would prefer if you guys were to maybe head back, because they're kind of beating our ass. Okay, that's a bit unfortunate. I thought they were going to go and target the birds. Oh, with time and reputation comes comfort. You feel your maximum level of comfort increase to 1. Okay. On the next morning, you awake in a strange bed. The bed is strange, not just because it is not your usual bed, but because it is also not the bed you fell asleep in. Puck told you any room with the quote might be the queen's, so you partied with him at the first room you found that wasn't already occupied. Small chamber beneath the staircase, a twin-sized bed neighbored by a nightstand and lamp. Small desk in the corner. No windows. Meanwhile, the bed you awake in is queen-sized and contained within a spacious chamber that opens into a balcony. Balcony overlooks the courtyard of your new home. You appear to be roughly 5 stories above the ground. Alright. What's this? Take stock of your possessions. You look over the scant possessions that were on your person when you arrived at the court. Everything appears to be where you left it, with one irritating exception. Sometime between your arrival and now, you've managed to misplace your keys! In a way, you suppose that you all managed to misplace the locks those keys are intended for. A mystery, admittedly, of much greater concern to you than the missing keys. Alright, let's go explore the court. Return to your office. Investigate the dining hall. Wait! There was a man named Puck. Let's talk to Puck. What's Puck up to? The man named Puck is just across the courtyard. Perfect. You have many things you wish to ask him. Oh, he quickly exits the scene. Might be imagining it, but he appeared to retreat the moment he saw your approach. Bit rude. Alright, what should we do in our office? Go to war? Look out the window? Sure. There are some dogs catching frisbees in the courtyard, just out of frame. Yo! What good boys and or girls. Neat! Alright, let's not go to war yet. Let's investigate the dining hall. What should we do? Grab some breakfast? Sure. In the light of day, the feasting hall more closely resembles a common dining area. You collect some breakfast from buffet, then seek a table. You prefer to sit somewhere out of the way, near an exit, ideally hidden. You sit in the most nondescript location you can find, corner near a trash bin. Before you finished a bite, a whole host of fairy courtiers arrive with their meals and sit with you. They make idle conversation and a few honest attempts at answering your myriad of questions, but none of them successful. As you complete your meal, you idly note that your table is now the most lively and boisterous table within the hall. You also note, idly, that despite his assurances that he would answer all your questions, the man named Puck remains nowhere to be seen. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. You get 10 bread. Very nice. Alright, I think it's time to go to war. After breakfast, the court goes to war. And, as you ready yourself, a question. Your Majesty, is the intensity of the war to your liking? If not, please feel free to adjust the thermostat. Thermostat? Make things a little easier on yourself. I mean, not particularly. A small mirror that follows you from battle to battle. I don't know what that means. Despite falling short of them yesterday, you're confident you can reach those signs today. Very good. Her Majesty's loyalty to this approach is quite admirable. How steadfast. All right. Okay. Let's see what we can get. Looks like there's no enemies, so it's a bit of a build-up kind of day. I would like this near us. Oh, there is a chest. I didn't see it. I'd prefer not to break that. Dum-dum. Hmm. Alright, well, there's a chest. Collection of goods. An archer knight, defensive fairies, guard your core with arrows. That's a solid get. Alright. Let's see, we could definitely use... Oh, sorry, undo, I just wanted to look at you. Sure, good enough. I love this music. It's so beach themed, I guess I would say. You know what I mean? Like I would imagine hearing this in a beach episode of Saved by the Bell. I think it's a pretty good day. Come on, yeah. We got some serious gold from that. Ooh, shops. Could definitely use some more water. I'm confused what this does. It didn't seem to do anything. A tap on your shoulder. Robin points to a building in the distance. Your Majesty, that shop is neutral to this conflict. We should strongly consider stocking up on supplies. Of course, that is only if it stays in view. If it disappears before low tide, we'll have to wait until we pass another one. And by me. Ah, that's a shame. A shop. You call into the shop and learn about what they have for sale. However, before you can proceed, a voice on the line stops you and asks if you understand how money works. Let's just say no. Let's get the whole thing. You thought you understood a lot of things before your world shattered, and now you might as well understand nothing. Hey, whoa, I don't need your life story, ma'am. I just gotta make sure you know where the money comes from. Let me explain. First thing you gotta know is where money doesn't come from. You probably get used to getting stuff like food, water, trees, and gold randomly during high tide, right? Well, that's not gonna work for money. Instead, you get money by doing your job. You do have a job, right? You don't think you have a job. Oh, come on, I have caller ID, you know. I know you're a fancy fairy queen of a fancy fairy court fighting a fancy fairy war. That's totally a job. Have some confidence. So anyway, fairy queens usually earn money by defeating their enemy on the battlefield. Just knock down one of those towers and money will pop out. Oh yeah, you can also get some money by selling stuff, maybe to us, but doing your job is a surefire method. Whew. Now that I've given you the talk, how about I tell you what we have for sale? Alright, gunboat, driller, gathers rocks, seems very nice, archer, centaur, and trade wood at market prices. I don't think I'm going to be doing any of that. I guess a gunboat could be nice because we don't have anything like that. I guess I'll buy it. Not like we really need it right now, but you know, it's good to have. Alright, so just those two. I'm not really worried about that then. I mean, this looks pretty good to me. Yeah, screw it. Try to get a shit ton of resources. We'll break that guy before we get a chance to put out soldiers. I don't remember where the other soldiers came from, but this will be a good way to get some money. Oh, we're not gonna break that one in time. Well, we could have done without one more, but I think this is fine. Ooh, what's this? Is that a billboard in the middle of the battlefield? It's true. There appears to be a billboard of some sort among the scattered elements of the terrain. You better go to the outer walls of the court to get a better look. You need law, says Robin. That thing gives me the creeps, Your Majesty, as if we're about to be sued just by looking at it. You agree it might be best to look away lest you draw some unwanted legal attention. I don't think that really means anything. I think it's just... Okay, yeah, sure. Another structure wades into view in the distance. You suppose this is another... Look, Your Majesty, a temple of a market. Should you wish to pay your respects, it need only stay in view until low tide, correct? Correct, your brilliance continues to blind. Excellent. Sorry, so we got some money back. Could use a little water. What else do we need? Do we have any other moves we can go? Oh, wait. Market prohibits trading during high tides, but here are our prices nonetheless. Okay. Do I? Oh, I could do this. Oh, not my market. Well, that's not good. Well, that is quite unfortunate, to be honest. Oh, yes! Everything's coming up Millhouse. Holy. Oh, no! Ah, shit. Well. Looks like we're not getting that. Sure. Oh, I didn't think you'd shoot over that. Damn! Alright, well that was a shame. We couldn't see the Temple of Market. Ooh, we're a little short on gold. And now, the court finds itself surrounded by catapults. To be perfectly precise, those appear to be trebuchets. No, those look like catapults. Given that trebuchets are a subcategory of catapult, you don't see any reason why you can't call them catapults. Very well, my queen. I retreat in the face of your overflowing wisdom. Okay. Well. Strange building comes into view. As you observe it, the phone in your office rings. Bring, bring. Yeah, hey, titanium core, your majesty. I'm calling from the glass house. Yeah, we sell potions. As our name suggests, we firmly oppose the act of throwing stones in any and all forms. Therefore, we'd like to offer our full support to Titanium Core in your campaign against these stone-throwing trebuchets. Here's a pro tip, free of charge. Hills will block your projectiles fired by catapults. Just surround the core with hills and you'll be safe. And if that doesn't work, we sell a variety of instant use potions that can help you deal with the threat. Just give us a call sometime, we'll be happy to help. Click. Who was it, your majesty? You explained that it was a telemarketer, albeit one whose pitch might prove useful. Wow, rare. You could say that again. Very nice. Want to set something on fire? I do enjoy doing that. Make mountains out of molehills and other terrain. Ensure a flood wherever it lands. Specifically, a potion of teleport is the safest way to travel. Well, that's nice. Let's see. I think I've lost my mojo a little bit. I was kind of going sicko mode earlier. There's not a ton for me to go sicko mode on. Is there a match I'm not seeing? I'm looking. I guess worst case scenario, we could duck and cover. Oh, I was hoping the double would help. You know, I do like setting things on fire. Where should we put it? Right here would be good. Very nice, very nice. What else do we have? I can buy another fire potion. You know what? Let's try this. We have plenty of resources. Where are you heading? Let's try right here. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, that seems good to me. Yeah, I don't think we need a ton. Ooh, now the fire is spread. So the only one I was worried about was this one, but I didn't think he could kill us. Uh-oh. Sorry, fellas. You know, when you said glass house, I thought you meant literal. Catapults continue their assault, although you know that there are now slightly fewer of them hanging around. Okay. Let's see. go. Very nice. All one we really have to worry about is this guy. But even I'm not really worried about him. Just minorly inconvenienced about that guy. Alright, cool. Let's find another fire potion. Let's put that right there. Actually, if we do it here, I think it'll expand quicker. Anything else we really want? Not really. Nothing we really need. Let's just go for it. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, he'll kill that guy. That's fine. Just one hit. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about a single hit. I guess ideally I should have made another dude, but I didn't think I'd need it. Tide washes away the last of the catapults. You appear to have weathered the storm. The threats of the catapults now eliminated. The glass house pulls up next to the court, and you receive another phone call. The salesman offers congratulations for your victory and asks if there any further assistance he might provide. You answer immediately, asking if he knows the way for you to return home. Oh, definitely. Let's pull over somewhere and I'll draw you a map. Oh, hello. Salesman shows you the map and explains the directions. Okay, so you've seen this before, right? You have, but no one thus far has offered an explanation of any of it. You assumed it was some sort of map. Hey, it kinda is, but it changes every day, so I'd say it's really more of a weather report. But it's pretty simple. Each of these rows is a battle. Within a given row, each column is a battlefield. Do you follow? No, you don't. Yeah, you'll figure it out. But importantly, did you know that you can choose from 3 potential battles before every battle? No, you did not know that. Anyways, here's where you are right now, smack dab in the middle of the war. To get home, you're first going to have to make it to the end, which is right up here. Before or after the dragon? Oh, it's after. Of course, yeah. But making it to the end isn't enough. After that, you'll need to make an exit. Make an exit. Given the abstract nature of movement through the tide, would he be willing to elaborate on that? Oh yeah, it's confusing, right? These routes were conjured back in the 60s. Everyone was hopped up on allegory or something. Around here, making an exit means you gotta consciously leave the path you're on. Yeah, you know, like you gotta fundamentally change as a person. Okay. This might be a long shot, but does he have any specific advice on how I might do that? Preferably in a safe and non-traumatizing way? Do I ever, Your Majesty? That's our specialty. He sweeps his arm back to reveal a shelf of bottles underneath a marquee that reads love potions. Is he attempting to make a joke? Not at all. Nothing changes a person more than love. Okay. You take a deep breath. If his love potion functions like those described in stories, i.e. forcing an individual to fall in love with a person they otherwise have no interest in, then you have absolutely no interest in them. Your Majesty, with all due respect, that's messed up. I don't sell anything like that. You've been hearing some weird rumors, huh? I blame my competition. Please let me set the record straight. My potions cannot create love from nothing. They merely expand the love that already exists within you. Seeing your shoulders relax a bit, he continues with his pitch. Now, if you're new to love potions, I definitely recommend starting small. He pulls a potion off the shelf, like this one, full of the love of something called baseball. This one's great for beginners. The effects are really mild. The effects are really mild. Drink it and you'll end up liking this baseball just a bit more than you already do. That's it. You suppose that does sound relatively harmless. If he also thinks it'll help you return home, you might as well give it a try. Ah, perfect. Oh, come on. Put your wallet away. I'm not going to charge you for it. Just take it. And so, you return to the core with the new map on the war and single complimentary potion of liking baseball. Very nice. And now you have a certain idea of what you're looking at here. Based on what the salesman told you, this is either a map or a weather report. Either way, it's important that you can choose which upcoming battle to traverse. I would like the market, please. It's catapults and goons. Ooh, also we did maintain some of that damage. Interesting. Was there a sign on the battlefield? You look through the spyglass with a sign in the distance. Dead end. Oh, I know this one. This one's Memento Mori. I hear they're popular among mortals. This one is quite simple, perhaps even unrefined. It says dead end, so any mortal who reads it can remember exactly what awaits them at the end. In case they forgot? Precisely. You deem it unnecessary to offer any sort of correction. Okay. Let's see. Let's just get started. A little bit of this. Okay, that's pretty easy to kind of leave alone. I can really live with that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There's one. Oh, the catapult match with the castle. Interesting. Here. Very nice, very nice. I'm not really seeing... Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything worth a damn. Okay, so this guy's first. He will apparently hit. I don't think he will if we do this. Trade generic assets, Temple of Market. Blessings upon your business. Prices are determined by market. Ah, so we could buy more resources if need be. Very nice. You know what? We could use a little bit of this. Other than that, I think we're pretty good. We have 69 bread. That's pretty nice. No. Don't go that way. Why are you all wanting to go down there? Alright, whatever, good enough. Hopefully you can get there. And they're connected by a diagonal, so... Both the rocks. And then one of these, sure. Also, I just realized, are the catapults shooting out baseballs? Okay, they're not willing to go across the diagonal. That's a little upsetting. Nice! That'll teach them. We didn't gain much. We didn't lose anything. Hence, I could have bought more resources, but... Which battlefield should the corp traverse? Let's see. Or unremarkable. Hospital. Interesting. Another market. Rare chests. Rare chests and a shop sound pretty good. I say we go for it. What is this? Pirate Cove. Gunboats that are restricted to water. A swamp. Impassable on foot does not match with tap water. Interesting. There's that safe again. Oh, very nice. Supposed to keep these two alive. I'd like to get this guy out of here. Wait. The us? Home for now. Okay. I don't know why we're kind of covered in a swamp, but you know, whatever. I don't want to get rid of this though. Oh, that'll be such a heavy match. I'll find it again. I didn't ask about the store. Damn. I lost the chest. I got a little greedy. What is this? Dragon's Cough. Offensive spell. Raise the earth 1 tile north. Smear hills as the common foe. Huh. Let me take a look. Yes, we're definitely gonna want... I want a good few of these. Okay. We're out of money. Or of gold, sorry. Really want to see what this is all about. All right, yeah, you know what? Send it. Oh my god. They didn't go for my dudes at all. I thought they were supposed to go for my dudes. Okay. Well, I kind of got wrecked there. Whoopsies. My bad. Oh. I am really liking this though. Alright, last time we kind of got our shit kicked in. But I'm gonna try to do a little better now. For a short period of time after the court wakes each morning, it drifts through the tide alone, free from its relentless obligations to the battlefield. You found this time useful for exploring your surroundings. Although I'm actually not upset for losing, because the person I watched, they were playing a different version of the game, but there's a lot of stuff that they didn't see. Either they explored different stuff or the game was updated. What's this? You feel as you could use a shower? Sure. To your mild surprise, the shower, nay, the whole bathroom attached to your chambers is, to put it diplomatically, a bit shabby. Unlike the rest of your chambers, those which choose to stretch and grow the size of your station, the bathroom remains small and intimate. If you were feeling less charitable, you might refer to it as claustrophobic. Also, the room is clearly built into the underside of a staircase. Various thumps and falls from above the ceiling provide ample evidence that this staircase is well traveled. You aren't complaining. You consider it a miraculous blessing that a fairy court outfitted with tappings of medieval Europe would also have a functional modern plumbing. Yeah, it's fair. Turn the water on and test it with your hand. Despite the shower's appearance, the temperature is consistently warm and the water pressure is high. Just a completely normal non-magical shower. Mediocre, even. You suspect that it will be a good reminder of what your life was like prior to the absconding with the cohort of fairies. As you quickly step inside and close the sliding door, you quickly retract the previous statement. The high-pressure water. The subtle ringing noise produced by the shower head. The echoes of the footsteps from the ceiling. All of the above combine to create a catastrophic cocoon of sound and steam. If anything, this shower is perhaps the most magical object you've encountered in the court thus far. You will let your mind drift for a while. Okay, imagine fucking shower stuff now. Sure, man. You go over the short list of things you have learned about the court in the time since your arrival. Yeah, man, sure. One, Titanium Court is a royal fairy court, a place bound by ancient magic to withstand the tide, whatever that is. Okay. Yes, I don't think this was in the previous demo. 2, magic totally exists, by the way. 3, so do fairies. Just so we're clear. Yeah, good to keep that in mind. 4, you are, however, not a fairy. As a person who has lived a decidedly unmagical life until this point, you are instead a mortal. Yet, somehow, your mortal status didn't disqualify you from being crowned queen of these fairies. In fact, so far as you can tell, nothing will disqualify you from this royal office, not even your own opposition to holding it. As loath as you are to leave, you think you've now spent enough time in the shower. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Ooh. There's Puck again just down the hall. You spy the man Puck just down the hall. He does not appear to have noticed you yet. You're certain that if he had, he would already be making a hasty exit from your presence. Now, it might be a good time to follow him and observe for yourself what duties your steward is performing in lieu of offering you guidance. It's weird, it's a red splotch every time he kind of leaves through a door. Okay, this is getting a bit tedious. Fortunately, you can click and hold the left mouse button to speed up the proceedings. Try it in battle, too. Okay, that's nice. Now here's a part of the core you had not yet discovered. Vast library extends before you. Oh! Wait! You suddenly realize with some annoyance that while you were gaping at the scenery, Puck managed to slip out of your sight. I saw that. You inspect the bookcase, you think Puck slipped behind. doesn't budge when you attempt to move it. Try removing a random selection of books from its shelves. That also has no effect. It's likely a waste of time. You're not even sure it's the correct shelf. I know, I saw the shelf. Let's go to some of the paintings. How do you interpret this one? A fantasy of revenge. The subject is smashing his guitar most probably out of a seething hatred for rock and roll. I think you misunderstand. I've heard it said that the smashing represents his fervent passion for rock and roll. But how can that be? With his guitar smash, surely he will find it difficult to participate in the day-to-day proceedings of rock and roll. You interject to suggest that the subject likely has another guitar at the ready. That his smashing might represent both his passion and his wealth of guitars. Her Majesty's theory is compelling, but the evidence is circumstantial. After all, this theoretical secondary guitar is not featured in the painting. How can we be sure it exists? Perhaps the artist painted it somewhere in that negative space I've heard so much about. I suppose we'll need to keep an eye out for it. Alright, sure, man. Let's grab some breakfast. I just said after breakfast is wartime. You silently absorb the conversation around you as you eat breakfast. You know, vehicular theology is just not also ridiculous to consider the car to be mostly a metaphor. But for what? What could such an outlandish and inconsistent set of myths possibly be a metaphor for? Perhaps the psychological armor we construct around our true selves? All for the conveyance of the soul to greater stages of enlightenment? It is not too hard to imagine. But aren't cars also allegedly beasts that devour naughty children who not look both ways? Well, I never said it was a perfect metaphor. As a result of eating breakfast, you get a small bonus. You can get 10 water. Hey, I'll take 10 water for listening to this guy's weird-ass dialogue. Ah, the potion of liking baseballs. Let's see. You have to drink from the potion of liking baseball. One reason for that is your natural attribution towards something that you have been assured will change you. Another reason is the potion's instructions clearly state that for best results, you should leave the potion in direct sunlight until it bubbles. While it's been sitting in your office collecting sunlight from the window since you brought it back, it has yet to start bubbling, so you continue to wait. Alright. You return your map. With the exact extent of what you're supposed to do remains unclear, there is a growing list of things you think you should try to do. Recently, you've organized this list and placed it next to the ever-changing map for convenience. Achieves official personal change so you can safely leave the court at night. Achieve victory in the war. Right. Fair enough. Let's go to war. After breakfast, the court goes to war. No. I'm making the game easier. Alright, let's see. Well, we got a lot of choices here. Shop. Birds. Wormhole. Alright, we haven't seen Wormhole yet. I gotta see what that's like. You notice that the battlefield is littered with a bunch of ominous... What are those? Are those wormholes? I'm not sure what to call them, Your Majesty, but those things are bad news. The tide seems to group them with the enemy, but they never disappear when matched. Instead, they appear to merge with their neighbor, retain every soldier those neighbors possess. Oh. If prayer actually worked, I would pray that we do not see them grow. They remain harmless as long as they're empty. Interesting. Okay. Is there a dude here? Hey, wait, was there a dude here before? I don't remember there being a dude. Also, sorry if I'm kind of speeding past some of the dialogue. There's a lot of fucking shit that they're saying. These guys be yapping. Okay, I have to test. Will this... Roseman match with that? Worms are none to be found. Okay, so I have to match them first. Okay, you just had to make sure. There's someone saying, yeah, there is someone saying on the stump. You look towards the stump in the distance. A lone figure appears to be holding up a sign. Learn self-defense for $1. Ooh, we should sign up, Your Majesty. The court is terrible at defending itself. Yeah, sure, man. You suppose $1 isn't that much? You could spare it merely to satiate your own curiosity. You and your routine gather around the stump, money in hand. Step right up, we'll start in a moment. As it happens, you aren't the only student present for today's lesson. That's right. I have the honor of being Sensei's #1 disciple. That doesn't mean anything, kid, and please stop calling me that. The instructor turns to you. It's your first time here, right? Let me explain how this works. Basically, each lesson, I'm going to give you one card for self-defense. I'm going to tell you how to use it. But the first thing you got to know is, I'm not going to always be here to give you cards. If you really want to defend yourself, you're going to eventually have to need to find your own cards. Question, Sensei. Where can we find these cards? Haven't you been coming here for years, kid? You tell me. Hey, Spoopy. Sensei's answers possess so many meanings. True understanding still eludes me. Okay, look, kid, it's not a riddle. Normally, you just find self-defense cards in shops or chests. Got it? You nod. Shops? Chests? Anyways, why don't you start by choosing a card? What the hell? Harass passerby. A passive. I like passives. I'm a big passive fan. You've received 2 thorns. Okay, thorns. Those are interesting. So the way they work is, whenever an enemy unit attacks your court, it's going to take some damage in return. The more thorns you have, the more damage they'll deal. So if you get enough of them, then most enemies won't be able to hit you more than once. Now you're going to be thinking, if I'm still taking damage, aren't these things not that useful? And you're right. If you're overwhelmed by enemies, thorns aren't going to help you with much. But where they really shine is when you've got 2 enemies positioned to attack you early in the battle. Without any means of defending yourself, an early attack like this can deal a ton of damage. It might even be fatal. But when you have thorns, there's an upper limit to how much that early strike can hurt you. One last thing about thorns. They're a passive tool, so you don't need to see them with the rest of your cards. Said you can see them hanging out over here with all of your other passive effects. Oh, over where now? And that's it for the lesson. Go try it out. Yes. Weird ass game. I got an apple. Sure. That's a passive. Okay, awesome. And instantly gain money. I love to see it. Sure. No, I don't think. Fuck it, yeah, dude. We're just gonna make a shit ton of these. Let's go into the battle. So we hope you're doing well. This is a bit of a chill stream since Vic had to. He wasn't feeling great, so he had to cancel. No big deal. I should put one more, I think. It's fine. We still get 3 gold. And plenty of food, baby. They're attacking the wormhole? I didn't know they could do that. Oh, get him! Beat the shit out of the wormhole. What the fuck? This game's so weird. Centaurs. Scamps? Well, we have a passive to get that whenever. So we want woods. Because every time we get wood, we get food. These are autumn woods. Does not match with summer woods. Inflammable. Okay. Guys are making shit confusing for me. Okay, there's a shop up here. Let's see. There's a safe. Which I am... yeah, it's still locked. I'm not sure what the fuck they want me to do with that thing, man. Alright, that shop is gone. A little unfortunate. Okay, new shop. Excellent. This is such a weird game, though. I love it. It's just very odd. Alright, shop. What the fuck? A barracks. Offensive structure. Produces 2 soldiers at the start of each battle. That seems pretty nice. Cobweb. Defensive spell. Lay a trap for your enemies that halts their movement. Global broadcast. Hills revealed their true nature as forests. What? Green hills. What the fuck does this mean? Hills reveal their true nature as forests. So all hills become forests? Seems wild. I am interested to see what a structure would do. We do have a bunch of food. And every time we gain wood, we get food. So we could probably sell this, buy this. Where would you like to build the keep? Can only be built on a rock. Okay. Is that not like a... That's okay, so it's not a spell. Interesting. Okay, having known that, I would like to undo. Just to okay, now they're back in order. I would like hills become woods, I think. Because of this, we clearly want a lot of hills. But I'm not going to do it now. There's no point in doing it now. Looks good to me. Maybe one more. Don't all go that way. What are you doing? Go back, you fools. Oh god, centaur too. Jesus. That's on them. Some of them, it looked like some of them were going left. I'm not happy about that. Extra hills and catapults wouldn't be bad. Okay, I'm curious about a hospital though. The fuck is this? There are eggs over here in the egg zone. Awesome, thanks, man. Glad to know that there are eggs over there. Cool. Birdhouse. Okay. Yeah, sure, man. Well, that's whatever the fuck you were talking about for you. Hospital. Medical establishment offering to sell you. Okay. Ooh, increased max HP is interesting. Oh, okay. I didn't think so, but I was like, I don't think it's telling me I can't. There are eggs over here. Okay. The fuck does that mean? What was that? What do I do with the eggs? Nice. A mysterious egg. I'm gonna talk to the fucking egg. Yeah, sure. You receive a fascinating offer from the egg zone that has appeared on the battlefield. Your Majesty, great to see you again. Still trying to get home. Anyways, I do have an offer for you. He gestures at the large pile of eggs on the battlefield. That's right, you can become the proud owner of your very own football. What are the devs on? What are they smoking when they make this, man? What the fuck you make me the proud owner of a very own football from the egg zone? Is he talking about the eggs? Eggs? What eggs? I've only got footballs here. They clearly look like eggs. Your Majesty, those are likely American footballs. I hear those are shaped like eggs. Oh, of course. Yeah, my bad. Hey, if you're gonna call your football an egg, call it an egg. Who am I to judge? The important part is I'm prepared to part with one of these footballs at an incredibly low price. In fact, I'm prepared to pay you to take one with you. If he's willing to pay you to take one, there must be a downside to doing so. I'd like to know what it is. Well, raising football is a big responsibility, too big for me. But you seem like you've really got it together, Your Majesty. You've governed a whole magical court. You command vast armies. You ask questions before agreeing to stuff. I can't think of anyone better suited to carrying one of these babies to victory. Well, but to answer your question, you know how the game of football works, right? You lose the ball, you get a penalty. I can't keep racking up these penalties, Your Majesty. I'm gonna go broke. But I doubt that would be a problem for you, so what do you say? What? It's like $10 for taking the ball. I feel like I'm going insane. Give me, if I get 22, am I gonna get 22 food? Oh, I've been scammed. You collect the sign-in bonus along with the egg, thus assuming responsibility for shepherding it to victory. I'll be rooting for you. The football. Okay. Okay. So careful when return to the egg zone. It is if you never agree to take it. Oh, excellent. Okay. If I can send a couple dudes to quickly take them out, I wouldn't be upset. Yeah, man, give me $10 for taking the football. I wish you would tell me what... Okay, hold on. I guess I didn't hold on to the thing. Will it tell me what the punishment is? No, it won't tell me shit. Okay, awesome. That's what I love to see. Anyways, let's go to the hospital. Cool. I'm out of gold now though. Oh fuck. I can't be doing that. Wait, it takes both? Fuck that, dude. I'll do one. No, you know what? Fuck it. I won't even do one. It's a shitty deal, man. Alright, man. Yeah, sure. Hold on. Alright, let's get these guys over. Beat the shit out of them. So that we can then protect our egg. Alright, that's not great. Alright, well, we took a little damage. We've still got 20. Are we keeping the egg from now on? New. Review my to-do list. Bring the football to the end zone. True! We gotta bring the football to the end zone. Yeah, that's true. Oh. Wormholes and goons. Alright, scamps. I don't even know what the fuck a scamp means, dude. Let's see. The flora, it can either be standard or average. What does that mean? I don't know. This has more woods, I guess. Sure. Still excitement surrounding the rather large jar. Awesome. From amongst the detritus scattered by the tide, a large and imposing jar floats into view. Upon catching sight of it, Robin groans, "Your Majesty, I advise you to steer the court away from that thing." But the other courtiers object. "Nay, Robin, such advice is an error. We must steer closer to the jar should we ever hope to open it." Robin explains the reasoning. "Every time we wage war in proximity to the jar, our soldiers neglect the battle in favor of attempting to open it. But we are still making progress. Surely by now we have at least put a dent in it." Robin sighs. "The decision is yours, Your Majesty, but if we must attack the jar, let's at least do so when the court is relatively safe." Why are these guys so fucking obsessed with the jar? What's new here? New. Open the jar! Okay, I really want to open the jar, man. I do. I want to open it. I would be lying if I said I didn't. I'm curious. They've clearly put a dent in it. Oh. The game's so fucking weird, dude. I'm loving every minute of it. So doing so it will grow if I match it with those guys. I don't want to do that. Let's put the football back here. Oh shit. That's fine. First and last, I can live with that. I am deadly curious about this fucking jar, dude. Okay, man. What's in the shop? What do we got? Offensive tool. All fairies demonstrate improved hustle, guts, and moxie. Okay. What the fuck do they mean by it? Okay, man. Yeah, sure. I mean, I gotta know. Is this just like a passive in my thing? All players demonstrate proved hustle, guts, and moxie. Sure, man. Yeah. What the fuck ever. $150 health for the jar. Oh my god, dude. Alright, I want to break this jar. Commence the bell. These guys will have to go all the way around or become very slow. I gotta see what's with the jar, man. Break the jar! Break the jar! Yes! We're opening the jar! Suddenly amidst the chaos of battle, a deafening pop followed by silence. All combatants, both those on your side and the enemies, put down their weapons and look towards the jar. The jar that, as it happens, had just been successfully opened. Oh shit! Twist! Twist! Yes! From within the jar emerges an aroma. You can't immediately identify the smell, but it's something familiar, something that unlocks memories from another time and place. Springtime, moderate humidity. Classes are winding down, and the new warmth is rekindling the smells baked into the walls of your residence hall. You're about to move out and are looking at a period of 2 to 3 weeks before you can move into your new place. You have couches you can sleep on, but most of your earthly possessions will need to reside somewhere else for the period. As you lock them away in a relatively affordable storage unit, you feel something indescribable. Shining, for lack of a better term. Unburdened, untethered, unanchored. The only thing keeping you from floating away is the small key to the storage unit you hold in your hand. A key that you find yourself staring at now, here in the present. Oh, yeah! I got the key for the storage unit. Wait, where'd it come from? Found it in the jar, Your Majesty. Why does he have a soccer ball? Oh. Was there anything else in there? Nope. What's this? Just band-aids. Why is he? Is he plunging the jar into the toilet? What's happening? Curse is lifted. On this day, the queen of the titanium court did unburden her people of the curse of resistance, and there was jubilation. Okay. And it's over. Awesome. Oh, I love to hear it, man. Oh. What the fuck? Done. Oh, awesome, man. That's great. I'm so happy to hear it. I feel like I'm losing my mind, man. This shit's insane. Okay. Fuck it. Woo. This is a fever dream. What the fuck is that? A shoe. A tremendous sneaker housing. A real estate office. Okay. Sure. There was an old lady who lived in a shoe. Who do you think fucking got her that shoe? The real estate office, duh. Of course. What the fuck? Archer keeps. Produces dangerous archers. Oh, man. This game, man. Every second I play this game, I feel like I'm going closer and closer to insanity. Not the cool virtual kind. I mean, I don't know if I'd say cool, but not the virtual kind. Oh man. They really wanted that jar open. I'm a man of the people. Oh no, my chest. I apparently have another one somewhere on the fucking field. Oh yeah, it's right there. Not anymore. Oh god. This game, dude. This game is just wild. And I am enjoying my time, but holy shit, man. Yeah. In embarrassing turn of events, you're able to complete the transaction because your hands are currently full. But it is your majesty's right and privilege to engage in queenly excess. You need to drop something if you want to hold on to something else. How would you go about doing that? When interacting with shopper chests, click on your cards and offer them up for sale. That's the only way to get rid of your cards. You're welcome. Okay. I don't need this guy. Can I... Okay. Oh, yeah, I want that in the back. Actually, hold on. Been scammed yet again. Shit.
Good idea. Everyone make sure
Hydrate,
to
I got you, Curtis. Oh, this game's a fever dream, man. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Okay, now we have things in better order. What the fuck? Did someone live in that shoe? I hear there was an old lady. Wait, I may have expected the giant shoe to be someone's personal residence. It actually houses a real estate office. And by purchasing real estate, you can lock individual tiles on the battlefield so they'll follow you to the next battle. Unfortunately, the minimum price for properties in this neighborhood is $8, so you won't be able to purchase anything. Why would I want to purchase a fucking shoe? I don't understand, man. And the best part is, I don't need to. This game's so batshit insane, dude. Yeah. Commence battle. Damn, those centaurs are fast. Damn! Holy hell! Oh my god! Oh, they're going sicko mode! Damn! They went crazy mode on them. Oh, okay. Missing woods? We don't really want that. Volcanoes? I don't want volcanoes. Rare chest and market. I mean, I gotta go here. This is another fucking billboard. You look through a spyglass of the new billboard. Taco. Some of the text is small, but it reads, "The desire for a taco is universal." Of course. Oh, quite a bold claim. Does Her Majesty agree? Yes, the desire for a taco is universal. To be honest, you could really go for a taco right about now, but that is insufficient proof for the versatility of such a desire. Yes, that is exactly what you're about to suggest. As such, the billboard's claim remains unproven, but also unrefuted. Awesome, man. That's great to hear, I guess. This game's insane. Wait a minute, I just realized there's two different kinds now. Does not match with summer hills. Okay. I mean, a hill's a hill, in my opinion, but what do I know? All right, let's get new stuff here. Post rock. I'm just gonna sell it, dude. I don't need that. Oh, right. Okay. It's still kind of a scam that I don't get any of that. Let's, we could sell. We don't really use gold now. So we don't really need it. I can live with this. All right, so first things first, we are gonna put quite a few of these guys. Yep. Damn. These guys go sicko mode. Oh my god, dude, we're rich! We're rich! Now we fight the dragon, but now I have a football. Oh no, make it your turn! As the court moves motionlessly across the void, it suddenly encounters a neighbor. Your courtiers cry out in alarm. You spy a great dragon soaring above his lair in the distance. The legendary apex predator opens his mouth and addresses the court. Here is what he says. But before you can say anything, one of your courtiers approaches you nervously. Your Majesty? Yes? Well, well... What is it? Can't they see this is a bad time? Well, you've overstayed your what? What are they trying to tell you? Allow me. The favors of the court attempt to tell you that you've completed the demo. Wait, it's done? What about the dragon? Don't worry, your save file will be carried over to the full version of the game should you choose to purchase it. You'll be able to pick up exactly where you left off. Okay, but you'll probably have forgotten how most of this works by then. Well, we won't make you, leave or anything. They won't, but I will. Goodbye. I hope you enjoy the full game once it's available. And that's Titanium Court. Oh, the absolute fever dream of a game. But it's a good time. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you confused and scared. And that's what games are all about, if you ask me. I did have a good time with this. I'm gonna look at the wish list right now. I've already gotten my wish list, but okay, no release date, just says coming soon, which is a little unfortunate. But you know what? I think they can take as much time as they want. Also on Steam, I just want to say it says puzzling battles and then puzzling narrative. You are goddamn right, man. Like, even the Steam page is puzzling. It's just talking about a giant rat and shit. A fully interactive shower for certain definitions of interactive and certain definitions of a shower. True. Oh man. This game is so weird, but it is such a fun time. I will have to play the full thing when it comes out. When that is, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna have to play all of it because this is a fever dream and a half, and I'm here for every single second of it. Oh man. Okay. That's gonna have to be it for today. Quit the desktop. Oh, there I am. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is such a weird game. All right. Unfortunately, that is going to have to be the end of today's stream. I'm going to try to find someone to raid. Who should we go for? Let's see. Let's even check who's on right now. Let's see. Got a lot of people. A lot of cool collabs happening. You know what? I think it would be good to raid my good friend Plants, who recently got back to streaming because they had to stop for a bit, unfortunately. But now they're back. And they've been streaming as much as they can. Me and Plants have talked about doing like a Fall Guys collab or something, but we haven't really made any plans. But yeah, so thanks everybody for joining. Weird ass game, but it is a really fun time. And I will have to see you guys on the next one. Oh, next week is gonna be a lot more indie games. I have like 15 indie games downloaded. We're gonna have to get through a lot of them. I'm just gonna be real. Lots of indie games. So next week, no collabs, nothing. Indie games, indie games, indie games. That's what we're looking at. And quite honestly, I'm here for it. I love playing demos because sometimes a dev gets to see it and we get to chat a little bit. They get to answer any questions I had. I get to ask any questions I might have. And I guess, honestly, it's just a really good time. So be prepared for more indie games next week. And until then, I will see you guys around.